So today we are getting the new V8F and I'm super excited. It's going to arrive here by 3 p.m. I'm just going to sit here and just keep on refreshing until it gets here.
F5, 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 F5. Oh!
Yes!
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Yes! Delivered! Let's go check it out.
Guess what we have here today? This is InMotion's brand new V8F. This is a new one. So as InMotion normally does, they release the baseline and then they release the F variant, which is a little bit upgraded above the baseline. It's been a few years since that one's been out and now we finally have an upgrade to it. So today is our first look at it.
So excited.
Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Okay. Put this bad boy over. There's the box. Looks pretty much the same as the original V8. Okay. I can already tell it has different pads here. It's similar to what you see on the V10 or the V5. So here's the original V8, V8F. So yeah, brand new side shell design, accommodates for the inserted removable side pad up here. So there's a little bit of an upgrade built in now. You can also see there are new pedals. It looks the very same as the new V10F pedals that have been upgraded recently. So they still have a rubber insert, but there's now grip tape on top. So it's really comfortable, but it's going to give you a lot more control and stability maybe in wet environments where you feel like your foot might slide off the pedal. So kind of the best of both worlds. So.
Sweet. So now let's turn it on.
Yep.
Welcome.
Look at that. The lights are the same on the side. This one has, it's still a 16-inch tire, of course. It's 16 by 2.125. So if you had a version of Glide 3 or V8 that had the 1.95 tire, this would be a slightly thicker tire for you. Same built-in handle, just like V8. Yeah.
Sweet.
Beautiful.
Awesome. Now let's take it for a test run.
Yeah, let's do it. Nimble as ever. And here's Rose. Rose, do you want to take the first spin?
Yes.
Okay. We're trading off.
Too much stuff.
She had stuff, people. Did you hear that? Stuff.
I brought sunscreen, water bottle. Let's see, what else did I bring? A lot of napkins in case.
Review napkins, critical to the process.
I'm gonna drink some more water first.
Review water.
All right. Awesome. Feels amazing.
My impressions just after my first ride, it is significantly more powerful than the V8. I'm a little surprised, especially now when I just switched back to the regular V8. It feels It feels lighter weight. There is a slight weight difference, but not significant. But the power is a big jump.
Oh yeah.
I would say. It feels closer to V10 than it does V8, in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I was actually just talking to the camera about how I felt that it was much more stable than the V8, because coming from the V8 and then getting on this,
Yeah.
it was just a whole it felt like a different wheel.
Yeah.
It really didn't feel like a V8 at all. It just felt like what you said, a
Yeah.
V10, but on a smaller body.
It's like a lightweight V10. It's like a mini V10. There's a lot more testing to be done, but first impressions are really impressive. It's more of an upgrade than I thought.
Okay, so now that we're done with our initial ride, we are going to go a little bit more in depth. There are a lot of upgrades from the V10. So, now you can adjust for pedal sensitivity. You have the different ride modes of comfort mode versus classic. There is the flashing taillight when you are coming to a stop, and the soft pads and improved pedals are definitely adding to the comfort of the ride. For me right now, my daily ride is a V10, and my pain point with the V10 is its weight of 46 pounds. It's a little bit under just half of my weight, which makes it really difficult for traveling when I'm trying to lift it up and down the stairs. So the V8F at its current weight is a way better deal, where I get basically the whole package of a V10, but in a much smaller form factor.
Yeah, I mean, at your size, the power that the V8 offers is more than enough to give you that same feeling of a V10. Maybe someone a lot heavier than you would notice more of a difference, but definitely someone your size, it's like perfect, because you get so much more power, and it's good to hear. It feels like a V10 still to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Cool. I ride the V10F, and now, more recently, I've fallen in love with the Kingsong 16X and the 18L. I love those wheels as well. So for me, I like a little bit of a bigger wheel, but not too big to the point to where the weight becomes a big factor. But there are circumstances where even a V10 is too big for me. My gym does not fit a V10, sadly. It's just a little bit too big. So, when you consider how I use this wheel in my daily life, you really have to think about, where can you take the wheel? And this is where I kind of feel like there's some parallels to my other passions in life, and that's photography. Photographers really can get caught into a trap of just buying a lot of gear and just that constant upgrade cycle. I know a lot of you can relate to that with electric unicycles as well. And in the uke industry, it's just been trending like bigger, faster, more range, and that's great. But that doesn't work for all circumstances. If you're trying to use this as an augmentation of your very movement around the city in your daily life, you really have to consider what fits with you. And back to my photography analogy, the best camera is the one that you have with you. If your camera equipment outgrows your desire to want to keep it with you at all times, you're gonna miss out on those moments. So I think there's some parallels with electric unicycles where you can actually, feel like you can take the wheel anywhere, and I don't ever feel held back by the size of a V8 or a V8F. And just anything that InMotion or any other manufacturer can do to add more power to that small form factor is pretty revolutionary in my eyes, because not everybody wants a bigger wheel. So there's trade-offs. I think they've really done a lot with that form factor, and it's pretty cool to see. So there was one thing we noticed that was behaving a little bit out of the ordinary that we wouldn't expect to find on a wheel from InMotion, based on our experience with their other products over the years, was the tilt-back behavior with the V8F. Right now, this is a pre-production unit, so we want to make that clear. What we experienced isn't necessarily what's going to be found in the final model. Normally on an InMotion electric unicycle, there is tilt-back safety mechanism. So that means whenever you're hitting the power limit of what the wheel is capable of, in that given situation, it's going to tilt back to let you know to back off for your safety, which is a good feature, right? But in the V8F, we found it was being more aggressive than we would normally expect. So what I mean by that is when we were climbing up a relatively, not too steep incline, we're finding that it was kicking into that tilt-back mode pretty early. It tilts back really aggressively, so it tilted all the way back to the point where you need to step off, not just like a little subtle, hey, back off. It was kind of like a you need to step off kind of tilt back. So I would expect that to change, and we did report this to InMotion to make sure they knew about it. So we'll be working with them to make sure that that concern has been addressed for the final version, and we'll keep you updated on that.
And then another defect is that when you reach the top speed of the V8F, the pedals start vibrating to basically tell you that you're reaching the full, the limits of what it can do. So we've talked to the team in China, and they've told us that this is not intentional. So this should be fixed in the production models.
If you were looking for a radical redesign for the V8, you're not going to see it here. It looks very similar. The upgrades are not flashy in-your-face stuff. While the design looks the same, it could also be seen as a good thing, because it is a proven design that has worked very well for quite a while now with V8. That is a proven, tried and true design. It's ergonomic. And it's slim and it's portable, and it fits even more power in that same size now. So personally, I like seeing that same design. I think it's good. I liked it in the V8 and I still like it now. I don't think it needs a redesign, but for those that wanted to see something new from InMotion visually, you're not going to get it just yet. So stay tuned for the next wheel, I guess, and see what they have in store for you. I'm sure they won't stick to this design language forever, but with V8, they're not trying to reinvent the design. It's the guts.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about this new iteration of the V8 because it's basically the best of both worlds.
Yep.
You get the portability of a V8 and you get all the features from a V10. And so for me, I definitely think that this will replace my current daily driver, which is the V10. So the V8F is going to be the perfect wheel for me because now I don't have to deal with, going as slow as the V8, which was too slow for me, but I don't have to deal with the weight of the V10 anymore.
And you normally don't need the range of the V10F, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so with some hardware changes that has been proposed on the final version, we might see the weight of the V8F even less than what we're experiencing now with this demo unit.
Okay, so Rose loves the V8F. If you're thinking that based on what we've shared with you today makes you want to get one too, we actually do have pre-orders live right now on uco.us. You can go to our website and you can go to UX in the top menu and you'll find a section for pre-ordering the V8F. That gets you a place in line for that first batch. If you want to get one, go ahead and sign up now and stay tuned for the final specs. Like Rose said before, we can't share them yet simply because the product is still in its final development. Some of the hardware and firmware is subject to change, so as those improvements are made, we will share those with you, of course. But now, if you want to wait in line and you know this is the wheel for you, go ahead and pre-order now. You can also get some of these. If you like our shirts, they're for sale. They're on our website. along with these little drawstring bags. They're pretty cool. Heather gray and black. So in the merch section.
Available. And if you like our content, please like and subscribe. We're going to come out with more of these kind of videos, and tell us what you like.
Cool. Let's go back here and scare the birds as you fly past. Okay, ready?
They're not scared of you.